Moving along, we have another story that's just raising some concerns because there are injured soldiers who are claiming that there's a military bias right now. Apparently, National Guardsmen are filing a formal complaint about their treatment as they demobilized in Fort Lewis, Washington. The soldiers had been injured and felt they were getting basically what they call shabby treatment from active duty personnel, and they were depicted, as they say, as weekend warriors in baseball caps who needed to, quote, suck it up. It's a very interesting and controversial story that's taking place right now, and Dan Springer joins us live from Seattle with more on this. Hi, Dan.
Yeah, hi, Uma. And the very latest we have for you is that we are told that investigation into this situation is complete and should be made public any day now. It'll focus on the demobilization process at Army hospitals, and in particular when National Guard soldiers come back and they say that they have head injuries. Now, the unit, the Oregon National Guard unit that sparked this investigation, came through Fort Lewis in May of last year, and you mentioned that PowerPoint presentation, and one Army regular referred to the soldiers as weekend warriors in baseball caps, and some were told to suck it up and leave the base. Now, soldiers complained that their concerns about post-traumatic stress disorder or traumatic brain injuries were being dismissed. The Oregon congressional delegation got involved and demanded the Army investigate.
They should be taken care of fully. They should have a soft landing. They should be reintegrated fairly, and they should have the full benefit of federal service and health care and everything else.
We also interviewed Specialist Tony Stevens, who served 2 tours in combat with the Army National Guard. He returned in 2007 with PTSD and traumatic brain injury, along with several other physical injuries. The VA declared him 100% disabled and unemployable, and is paying him $3,000 a month for his injuries. But Stevens has been fighting the Army ever since to get a medical discharge and either military retirement benefits or a lump sum payment for his injuries.
I've served honorably. I should get an honorable discharge, and I should get my benefits. That's what the Army should give me so that I can move past this and try to move on with my life and try to repair it however I see fit.
Now, the Army would not comment on Stevens' case, citing privacy concerns, but we did interview members of another Oregon National Guard unit that went through Fort Lewis and demobilized in November of last year. They say that they had a much different experience than their colleagues back in May. They say they were treated with kid gloves, and they believe that the Army has learned a valuable lesson in how to treat returning soldiers. And even the Army admits that they've learned a lot about PTSD and TBI, which is traumatic brain injury, and how to treat it and how to identify it even in theater when they're over in combat. Uma?
Well, let's hope that they are much more sensitive. Dan, thank you so much for